started writing. I didn't even realize that the time. Bit rate's a little poor. I apologize ahead of time. Hopefully that does better. I don't know. Okay. Okay. There's Mr. Frank. Are you the guy from generic 2000s rock band name? Yes. Yes, very much. I am the I'm the guy with that has matching black T-shirts and matching black hats with all of my bandmates, especially the keyboard player. Puddle of mud. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, maybe you saw me in Papa Roach. I saw a clip. Muddle of Pud. Yep. I saw a clip of the Oasis douchebag Noel Gallagher. I don't know if you saw this little reel. He's being interviewed. There's Nick Zinn, and Noel Gallagher says he's out somewhere, and he's out at dinner. He's out at dinner, and some guy comes up to him and says, "Hey, I'm a huge fan, and you are a huge inspiration for me playing bass." Yeah, speaking of douchebags, Oasis is right. And he says, "Oh, okay, that's cool. What band are you in?" And he says, "Maroon 5." And Noel Gallagher says, "I was pissed. I was like, I don't want to inspire Maroon 5. Get the fuck away from me." And he was annoyed, and he walks away. Then later on, like 2, 3 in the morning, he's at a party. Beautiful house, walking around. He goes to the bathroom. He comes out of the bathroom, and there's the dude, the bass player from Maroon 5 again. And he says, "For fuck's sake, what are you following me around tonight?" The guy says, "No, this is my house." And then Noel Gallagher was he's like, at that point I was a little embarrassed, and I was just like, this is a really nice house. I don't know. Nobody has ever been inspired by a bass player who isn't named Cliff Burton. Geezer Butler? Ever hear of him? Huh? Ever hear of him from Judas Priest? Iron Maiden? Yeah, he's a guy. He's a bass player. That's why I mentioned him. He's a bass player. So, Nick, are you there? Are you still there, Nick? Are you still listening, Nick, or did you just... are you blocking me? Yes, okay. So last night, the wife and I are watching, because my wife is home. She got home late Monday night. So last night we went to, this is not really part of what I'm going to tell you, but I'm going to just tell you the whole thing. Last night we went to Tijuana Flats. I don't know if you have Tijuana Flats up in your areas. Oh, outdoor decorations. That's very nice. And anyway, we go to Tijuana Flats. I get the burrito, and then I get a taco. We do not. Okay, so it's better than fast food Mexican, but it's not great. My wife loves it because it's the chips and queso she loves. Queso. Anyway, we go there, and then we come home, and we put on the television. This is the story. And we're watching Investigation Discovery. I think Tijuana Flats played MSG last spring. They used to play the Capitol Theater in Passaic all the time. They used to open for Tito Puente. And so we're watching Investigation Discovery show. And it's up in the murder's up in your neck of the woods there. And I don't even remember how to say it right. I remember one time. Anyway, the lady lady doing the narration, she says, but the police in Waukesha didn't know. And I started laughing. There's Tom Duffy. I started laughing, not because Tom Duffy's in, but because of the show last night. And Shelley says, "What's so funny?" And I said, I pronounced it Waukesha. If you're not from there, that's how you say it. And Nick Zinn said to me, "No, you don't pronounce it like it's a black chick's name." And I just remembered that, and I thought it was funny. Wasn't Tito Puente the Intercontinental Champion? Yes. Tito Puente Santana. We all know Waukesha. She's lovely. That is not racist, but it's Waukesha. Waukesha. Oh, Nick Zinn is. Yeah, he is. He's the one who said it. Everybody said it right, and then one time she didn't say it right. And like nobody edited it, like nobody was like, "Well, that's really off, and you shouldn't say it like that." Which is funny because in the 90s, when I was managing bands, we went and played several shows up in your neck of the woods, and one of the places was what I thought was not Waukesha, Waukesha. Waukesha. You can't be that white and not, you know. So it was interesting. It was an interesting thing. I laughed. Charlie was like, I really want tacos. I really want to go. Because it's Tuesday, Taco Tuesday, so you can get, they got like a sale on tacos or something. She's like, I really want tacos, but I know we're going to Taco Lou's on Thursday for your birthday. I'm like, going to a fast food place for tacos and then going and getting a fucking delicious scallop taco. Two different things. Unless Waukesha did the murder. Yeah, she was the one. Waukesha from Waka Shaka Waka. She killed people. I don't remember what the murder was because we watched like 3 of those. It was like 2020 or People Magazine or something. I don't know. Just people getting with this Slender Man killing. No, I don't. I don't think that was the one. That's a good one though. That's a good one. They've shown that one on every single show 40 times. Who can say? But I was like, yeah. Why would I not want to go for a little bit better than Taco Bell tacos? And then we're going to the King of Tacos, King at Rock. There ain't none better. On Thursday, if I'm going to get a scallop taco for lunch. Tomorrow, in fact. Tomorrow's my birthday, just so everybody knows. Maybe LaQuisha can say. Maybe. You don't know. You don't really know. Yesterday, Amanda Ward came over. We got some writing in. I got 1,584 words written yesterday, which I thought was pretty good. And then we went to B Max Buffet, and I had like, I don't know, 3 or 4 pork chops. They're just fucking delicious. And I made my biscuit. Open up a biscuit and you put sausage, peppers and onions on it and make a little sandwich. God, just freaking just delicious. Scallop taco, hell yes. Also, hello, Armand. You did that in the right order. Scallop taco is more important than saying hello to me, Sean. I appreciate that. Chad Hoey also in the house. Jesus. I say scallop taco and everybody's here. Pork chop on the bone, yeah. But the bone, as my wife has explained to me, the bone is the handle. So I used to do, like, growing up in New Jersey, you'd cut the meat off. My mother would, you would have to cut the meat. And then the first time I went out with my wife anywhere down here, and she got a pork chop, and she just picks up the pork chop, and like, what the fuck are you doing? She's like, what? God put a handle on this. I'm like, you know what? That does make a lot more sense than having it cut. And I don't like stuff on the bone. Except apparently for pork chop. Like, I won't eat chicken. I won't eat chicken on the bone. But anyway, it was delicious. And I find myself every month when Amanda comes to write, I find myself going there. And when Tom moves down here, he is about, 5 minutes away from that place. He'll be living. So, I'll go visit him and Jess on Friday and Saturdays for seafood day and night. All good though. But yeah. Tomorrow I'm getting a Taco Lou's scallop taco for lunch tomorrow. So obviously I will not be on tomorrow. We'll be back on Friday. I will be, but Friday. So Friday I was supposed to go with Goodwin to. Jess isn't allowed in there after the unsweetened iced tea. Yeah. She gotta get sweet tea and put some camel on. Amanda did notice that every old man in there had his red Trump hat on, and there was a lot of Trump T-shirts when we went yesterday. So it's not a political statement; it's just a statement. But yeah, so Friday morning, I was supposed to go with Win to get some coffee like we do once a month, but he had to cancel it because he has a doctor's appointment. So it's just means you live in Florida. Yeah, but not every part of Florida is like that. A lot of the more rural areas. So Callahan, I love Callahan. That's where we want to move because everybody knows everybody. Everybody's talking to that place. But it's more like it's definitely Dukes of Hazzard than anywhere else. And so I'm not going to breakfast with them. But my wife is off tomorrow for like 11 days or something, all the way through the Monday after Thanksgiving. So Friday we're gonna go and we're gonna look at a what do you call it? A Mustang, I believe. Of course, it's red. It was right up like 2 blocks from where we were going to go to breakfast. So me and my wife will probably go to breakfast tomorrow anyway. Callahan Auto Parts, exactly. So we're going to go look at a car tomorrow. Not sure if we're going to buy it or not. Guess we got to ride in it. Take it for a little test drive. Who ever heard of a red horse? The Indians. That was one of their leaders was called Red Horse. Jimmy Red Horse, I believe. Famous Seminole Indian. So anyway, we're going to just go look at and of course it's a convertible, because my wife wants a convertible. Whatever. So that's what we're going to be doing. So my goal here is I'm writing on this one right now. This is the Nazi treasure one, but I have 3 other ones pulled up, and I'm almost finished with the page. So my goal is to just knock off several lines in each of those, and write on this. We don't call them Indians no more. We call them the Guardians. That's right, Seminole Guardians. Savages. Rick Savages. Delicious water. They're called commanders. They're called commanders or guardians. Or braves. In Atlanta, you're still allowed to call them braves. Randy Poffo. Exactly. So instead of saying Randy Savage, we say they're Poffos. Bunch of Poffos? Get off my land, Poffos! Like that. So with Amanda here, and then going to lunch, and then coming home and taking a very, very good nap for 2 hours. I did not watch Mountain Man at all yesterday. Chad Hoey says, "Where's Tom moving to?" Oh, Chad hasn't been in for this. He is basically, him and his girl are moving down here sometime in January, February maybe. My wife's annoying sister is moving back to Dallas then. She's living here watching my mother-in-law who has dementia. So it's not bad. She can still do stuff for herself, but she forgets things, and she needs constant supervision. So she's going to so Tom and his girl are going to move down here, and they're going to live there at my mother-in-law's house, which is about 15-20 minutes from here. And so that will be the thing. So Tom will be in Jacksonville, because I think you're still in Jacksonville at that point. I don't think you're in Nassau County at that point. So there it is. So there you go, Chad. Mind your own damn business, all right? No, just kidding. Powder Puff Puffo. Remember when Joey Belladonna would dance on stage in a very ornate headdress and nobody accused him of calls appropriate? Yeah, and what did his hat say? Injun. I-N-J-U-N. But isn't it? Yeah, because Joey Bellardini. Bellardini is his real last name. I don't think that's Indian, although he probably will say he's part Indian. Let's look that up. Let's see what nationality Joey Belladonna. Obviously Italian, but you know. I'm not singing the national anthem. He's Italian American. His father said, "Oh, and Native American Iroquois on his mother's side, so he can wear the Indian hat. So he's allowed, because he's half Native American. Good for you, Joey Bellardini. Bellardini. Have you seen Expedition Unknown? I tried that new UFO show on Netflix. Hard watch. Have you seen Expedition Unknown? I've been watching Expedition Unknown for fucking 30 years. Josh Gates, I've watched every single Josh Gates show over the years. 20 years he's been doing shows. Big fan of Expedition Unknown. Belladonna from the Finnish Belladonnas, yes. His Indian name is Dances with Half a Mic Stand. Right. His Indian name is Watch Out, because Scott Ian is jumping around on stage and he might land on me. Does Shelley know you dislike her sister, and does she care? Ask me because I'm in a similar situation. I loathe my sister. Oh, My wife knows yes, we've not had any arguments over it, but she does not like me talking about it on Twitch in front of millions of people. Tens of millions of people. Let's be honest. Yeah, her sister's just a very, very selfish person. And all plans always get screwed because of her. So yeah, she knows I don't. She doesn't. She's not a huge fan of her most of the time because she makes my wife's life infinitely harder. And my answer is always just, I don't know, accidentally throw her down the steps. I don't know. But I am not saying to do that because hundreds of millions of people watch this. I've heard your stories and I'm not even sure I like her. You know what? I'm going to be totally honest with you. If you met her, you would not like her. Most people don't like her. And she's just so oblivious and selfish. She doesn't get it. Anyway. Let's change the subject, Sean. I don't want to get, in case my wife is listening. One time she caught me bitching. She was on. She just snuck on. So I'm supposed to get the new Jordan Harper book, Tom. It is out for delivery today, even though it was released yesterday, and I pre-ordered it to deliver it yesterday. It's supposed to be out. Actually, they said it's supposed to be tomorrow, and they updated it today. So I bought the new Jordan Harper book. I'm a big fan of it, of his. I'm not telling that story, Mr. Frank. I could tell any other story, but not that one. So I am looking forward to the new Jordan Harper. In fact, I started a new book, a new Southern thriller called King of the Mountain, completely based on the Bon Jovi song and lyrics. And I needed a name for the sheriff, and I named the sheriff Harper Jordan instead of Jordan Harper. Ooh, gotta get it on Kindle. Forgot about that. I told you last week about this. There's a person you know that you've put in your books that you nicknamed Table Breaker. How did this so-called person get that nickname? Was that her? Did I name it for her? There was a running joke when me and Shelly had first started dating. That her sister talks a big game. Okay? She'll tell stories, oh, this lady on the plane said this, and I said this back to her. No, you didn't. She won't even, order her own food like she has other people will call an order. She's just, she's a wimp. She doesn't, you say something to her and she doesn't go back at you or anything. Anyway, her joke was always, whenever we were out somewhere, her joke was always, I'm gonna turn this table over. I'm gonna break this table if they don't bring me my food early or some, that kind of crap. So I guess I used her. I guess I did that. Yeah, Terry Baker. Terry, Terri, is her real name. I probably made Terry. Yeah. Any resemblance to person living or dead is completely coincidental. Right. So that is her. Then yes, that is her. Of course. She never did any of that. Again, she talks a big game. Apparently, one of her dogs is pregnant again. I think she's up to 15 dogs now. Just completely ridiculous. I've been watching a lot of what the hell is it called? Bad Friends. Bobby Lee and Andrew, the redhead guy. I've been watching a lot of their podcast. I like it because Bobby Lee just screams and yells a lot. And I was not a big fan of his on Mad TV. I never really watched Mad TV. He's in a bunch of different movies. And it's good when he's in a movie because then he gives you the behind the scenes of his time on the set. And usually how he screwed up or something. There you go. I think she tries to pick up all the shopkeepers in the Palm Coast stories. That's probably right, yeah. Somebody asked me about Fantastic Beach Trees, by the way. Well, thank you, Frank. Somebody had asked me about them, those recently. I think my aunt, when she was down, she's like, you ever going to write any more of those books? And I'm like, no. No, because I just don't, they sold well locally. Print wise, I sold tons of them at Kokomo's. They always had like once a week. You'd be like, I need 15 of each more kind of thing. So I sold a ton of them that way, but not many online. I still sell the box set, but it was a great move at the time. Yeah, I mean, I did signings there. I did signings all over Flagler Beach. It was I definitely made my money on those. Even doing them as audiobooks. I did well with them at the time. So it's all good. But I don't think I ever now. So here's a little trivia for you, Mr. Frank. Here's a little thing for you. And the third book, Down and Dirty 3, which is coming December 15th, it's set in Nashville. And there is a manager, a booking manager, and that booking manager is named Wayne Tersha. And why is that important? Who knows? Oh, because he is the same agent, music agent that was in the Flagler Beach fiction series. I just used him for, many years later, he's now in country music. Even the story about rescuing Todd Brown's daughter is in those. Yeah, that was a good story, true story. I mean, that based on a true story. And then here's the kicker on that. I don't know if you know this, but so I'll give everybody the quick story. Frank paid this points for a story. There was an author years ago, Todd Brown, T.W. Brown. But anyway, I got to know him. He did zombie stuff. We did a bunch of I think he was part of the Winter of Zombie tour and stuff like that. So it turns out, though, that afterwards that he had been in prison for molesting a child, a relative. And he swore that it was wrong, but yet he spent like 15 years in prison. And he's kind of creepy. I met him once when we were in Portland, Oregon for World Horror. And he's kind of creepy. No, not Jackson T.W. Brown. Anyway, he called me one time, and this is years ago when I'm doing the Flagler Beach fiction series. Can you help me out? Yeah, he's like, do you know where Ronnie Van Zant Park is? Of course, I'm in Jacksonville. Ronnie Van Zant Park, Ronnie Van Zant from Leonard Skinner. Yeah, he's got a park named after him. Yeah, I know who it is. My daughter, he says, is living there with her boyfriend. All right, but she's a prisoner in the house. The parents and the boyfriend will not let her leave the house. And she wants to come home. She wants to come back to Oregon. I said, okay. He's like, can we set something up? And one of, if not the most boring people I've ever interviewed the Prisoner of Love. So, can you swing by? She's going to sneak out. She's going to leave her bag on the side of the house at night. And then she's going to sneak out the window while her boyfriend and her boyfriend's father is at work. They did construction. The mother's home and she watches her. So she's going to go into the bathroom, crawl out the bathroom window, and run down the block to the park. Can you pick her up there? Docking. And then can you get her to the airport? Because then and obviously I'll pay for everything. And just I just need you to make sure she gets on a plane. Okay, so I'd never met this girl. You know what I'm saying? This is going back 2011, maybe 2012. And so it's going back a ways. And I think she was like 16 or 17 at the time. So now I'm like, I'm not going to get in trouble for kidnapping or anything, am I? It's like, no. So anyway, so I go to the park. She's there. She jumps in the car. We take off. I was wearing my Slayer shirt. I remember I was wearing my Slayer shirt then, and a drug helmet, red bandana on my head. Because I was like, I might have to fight somebody here. I did not. So then we just drove down. I was like, well, I don't know where to go. We had like 4 hours until our plane took off. So we went down to Kokomo's and hung out there and got something to eat and talked to her. And she was about as boring as her father was. But she had said she had never seen the ocean. She had never seen the Atlantic Ocean. She'd seen the Pacific Ocean. She'd never seen the Atlantic. So I'm like, well, it's literally a block away. So we walked over to the beach, and the whole time I'm thinking, I'm walking around with a 16-year-old girl here. Like this is not good. Anyway, so she got to put her toes in the ocean, and then years later, Alex from Iowa got to swim around in the ocean. So I mean, I just put people with the ocean. That's kind of my thing. If you've never seen the ocean, come hang out with me. I'm gonna put your toes in the ocean. So then we went to the airport, and I sat with her before she can get through the gate, and then she did. So I had spent like 3 or 4 hours with this chick. And Todd was very generous. Obviously, everything was paid. He's like texting me, and he's like, "What are you guys doing?" I said, "Oh, we're just getting something to eat." He's like, "All right, let me send you money." I'm like, "I don't worry about it." But then he knew my PayPal, and he's like, "All right, I just sent you money." He sent me like $100. And then afterwards, when like that night when she landed, then he sent me like $250 or something for my time. So I thought was very nice. Then it turned out like maybe 6 months later, he says, just so you know, he sweet talked her back, but they moved out of Jacksonville. They moved to like North Carolina or something for work, and one of the reasons that the boyfriend gave was because I know you have a system in place to kidnap you if we stay in Jacksonville. So they moved to North Carolina, and they were engaged, and they were going to get married, and he was going to change his ways or some BS crap like that. I said, well, all right, well, I mean, I did my part. I'm not driving to North Carolina. So God only knows whatever happened to her. I'm sure she's dead by now. I'm sure he beat her to death and killed her, because that's usually what happens. I watch a lot of Investigation Discovery. Sean says, sounds good, Armand, just as long as my toes are still attached. I'm going to be honest, Sean. Sometimes I cut off just 5 toes. I throw those in the water ahead of time to see if there's sharks out there. If the blood doesn't immediately attract sharks, then I'll put the rest of you in the water. This is very close to James Gaffney's story. You know what? It might have been the what got me my mind churning for those stories. That's actually a good point, because it was at least 3 years before I even started writing Dirty Deeds and all that. Sure, it all worked out in the end. Yeah, I'm sure he killed her, which is sad. And then he's brainstorming a new Gaffney book live. Yeah. And then I remember we had Todd on, because me and Mark Tufo used to do I did the Winter of Zombie, Summer of Zombie stuff originally, and Mark used to bring people in. And he's the one who introduced me to Todd. But then the last time we were going to have him, people were pissed. People were like, Cody Boy and somebody else, these 2 authors were just like posting all kinds of shit about us and stuff. And I just said to Todd, listen, I can't have you on here, man. We're trying to help. We're trying to sell books and help authors sell zombie books, and you're a distraction. He was like, I get it. And then he's like, another 3 years or whatever. He kept saying like another 2 years, another 3 years or whatever. Then I can tell my side of the story, and then everybody will feel foolish or something. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, dude, you went to prison. Like, you went to prison. You got put in prison for this. So this isn't just a he said, she said thing. There was obviously enough evidence against you. You went to prison. But then he died. a few years ago, and that was it. And then nobody ever got to hear his side of the story. Not that it would matter anyway. I have to believe that because real life is scary as fuck. Real life is scary as fuck. Yeah, I had people giving me shit for being connected to him. Yeah. Well, imagine I got a lot of shit, and then Tufa was using him as an editor on some of his books, and then he was like, I can't I can't I can't put your name on my book because people are gonna get mad that you're the editor, so I can't use you anymore. Took his secrets to the grave, yeah. Hang on, Mark Tufo died. Did I mishear that? You did mishear that. We're talking about Todd Brown. Todd Brown died. Mark Tufo didn't die. Mark Tufo is dead to me. The problem was he was the one that kept bringing it up. Yeah, he would love to talk about it all the time. I remember when. Yeah, listen with the ears, Sean. When we went to Portland, because Tufo was there, Sean Chester was there, John O'Brien was there, so all of the zombie authors that we used to all hang out and do stuff. Joe McKinney was there, and then Todd and his wife were there, and they were like, "Oh, we live like an hour, like not an hour from there. We're gonna have a big barbecue, invite everybody." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm not. I don't want to go to his house. Like, I'm here at a convention to go. I'm not leaving the I'm not leaving the hotel to do that. I'm here to work." Or two was only dead arm, pretty much. But yeah. I mean, we did leave. In all honesty, we did leave. We did go to Voodoo Donuts, which was not worth it. Not for the shenanigans it took to get there. And Portland's an awful, awful city. The West Coast is awful to me. When we had the last time we had the hurricane come through, I had posted something about hurricane, and Erin Lewis, who's in like California, she's like, we don't get hurricanes here. I'm like, no, you just get earthquakes and homeless people, and the shittiest drivers in the world, and every interstate is a fucking parking lot. No, thank you. Oh, and you also have some shitty food over there too. No, thank you. I'm an East Coast guy. I would imagine their strip clubs are much better on the West Coast, though, than the East Coast. Let's be honest. That's probably about it, though. It feels like I'm not going to get these pages done. All right, let's start back here. Let me get at least one done. Armand's got a wall like Steve Buscemi and Billy Madison with tons of names right now. Yeah, that's like 3 walls filled at this point. People that are dead to me. One weird long hair. I just asked for the lost people still loving. Sure. Okay. Don't mind me. I'm going to remind everybody to resubscribe. I'm also going to remind everybody to subscribe on the YouTube. I also want everybody to have a good day tomorrow for my birthday. I want everybody to celebrate me tomorrow. Appreciate that. I love some whiskey in celebration. Good. That's a good move. I'll be watching this new, to me, Expedition Unknown in celebration. That's good. I can't believe you've never seen it. It's like 10 seasons or something. Josh Gates. He did, I think, 2 or 3 other long series of stuff. The one he used to do was kind of like... that was when he was on Sci-Fi Channel when Taps, when those guys were on there doing ghost hunting, and then he was doing he did a ghost hunting show at the same time. That was all the rage like 20 years ago. He did one. I can't remember what the name of that one was, but he also guest starred on the Taps one. I don't remember what the name of that one. You know what I'm talking about? The 2 Roto-Rooter guys. And so, and he did that. Then he did one where he was out searching for cryptids. Travel all over the world with his team, searching for cryptids. It came up under the Oak Island to watch after. Makes sense. And then I remember what the other one was. It's kind of like what he's doing now. Lost pirate ships and sunken treasure and shit like that. But then, and then there's Expedition X that he has a part in as well. That one ghost hunting show where it was fake, just that one. The others are real. Yeah. The one with Taps where the guy Grant, I believe that was his name, he finally quit and he admitted that basically they had made up, there was like basis in truth, but they made the show fake for ratings. Like they went to places that were supposedly haunted, but they would never find anything, but then they would make shit up. And then they would have like conventions and stuff. Those dudes made a shitload of money. I just also watched that. What was the Penn State one? I don't remember the name of that one. Something Penn State. And there was a bunch of college kids. And the chick in that, I forget her name, was really, really cute. Chunky girl. And then later she did the one with Jack Osborne, where they went and searched for Satan or something. How is a spin-off of Oak Island where they go after other treasures or something like that? Well, there have been several. So tonight actually is the debut of Tales of Oak Island after the episode, The Normal Curse of Oak Island tonight, where they are basically going to talk, even though 13 seasons now, they've talked about the past and presidents and all these people who have searched the island. Now they're going to do an hour of specific people or something like this. So they're going to make the history of people not finding anything. But they've had several spin-offs, like where Marty and Rick were executive producers on the guys who try to find the Civil War treasure. People who were in Lake Michigan trying to find, I think, also Civil War treasure. They had the guys who were looking, the two guys who would look for giants. That was a spin-off. There has been several spin-offs. In fact, Gary, the metal detection expert, the first time I ever saw him was on a Josh Gates show. Didn't you write an Oak Island story for Severed, or maybe I'm thinking of a different author? No, I pitched one to them. They did not. They did not take it. Tales of the Oak Island Skinwalkers with your host Dragon. I'm looking forward to Skinwalker Ranch coming back, just to see how good Dragon looks. I've been so tonight is the premiere of maybe it was last night. I think it was last night of this season of Mystery of at Blind Frog Ranch. That's another good one where they're trying to dig up the landscape and finding nothing, but then there's Satan and black holes and all kinds of bullshit stuff to, I guess, make it more interesting. I love watching all those shows. Expedition Bigfoot. I watched that. Blind Frog Ranch is just an awesome name. Yeah. Literally, they opened up, there's like a lake, and they punched through the wall, and all of these blind frogs came out. Like thousands of them. So the guy named it Blind Frog Ranch. But of course, then there's a prehistoric river monster living below the mesa that might be a dinosaur. And they've also had they found a tooth and they gave it to some supposed person who knows what they're talking about. They said it was a dire wolf tooth. So the dire wolves died out about 10,000 years ago. Expedition Trailbot, I would watch that. Trailbot has a new show. She hasn't said much, but she's if you were in Kentucky last weekend, you could have met her. If I had known, we would have gotten in the car and my wife would have never have driven out there with me. Blind Frog Ranch with Alex Jones or Turn the Frogs Blind. Yeah, I believe that's the show we're referring to, yeah. So I believe Trailbot's show should be, I would imagine, coming out soon. Not sure what it's about. Although she does talk a lot about the occult and stuff like that. So I would imagine it's got to be something like that. Who can say? Let me finish this damn page. Did it. Nick, were you talking about the George Knapp doc on Netflix, B4? Who's George Knapp? Again, finish the page, people. Like Striper always says, you know what to do. IS. Ooh. Next page. Nick's in. Next page. Chad Hoey. Next page. Chad Hoey. Next page. Tying down a pig. You do not talk about your girlfriend like that. That is mean. Get ready. Get your fingers ready because I'm going to hit another one. I'm going to hit another one real soon here. Come on. Did it again. I did it again. Maybe George Knapp will call for next page. Maybe. Who knows? Next page, Nick's in. Next page. Let's hit this one now, too. Close on this one, too. Then I was going to say I'm going to take a nap, but I have, because my birthday's tomorrow, I don't have therapy. I have it today at 3 o'clock. I'll take an hour. Now tying up a sloth. Stop calling your mom a sloth. That is so not right. Me and your mother have told you that. George Knapp was like, can I see the alien mark that was left on your boobs? Very inappropriate. I don't know. I don't even know who this person is. I'm going to look it up, though. I'm going to look it up. Just not right now. I'm going to finish this page. Wow, Coast to Coast, Kalax, Bobby Lazar, nothing. I don't know what any of those things mean. Maybe I should, who knows. Fuck, I'll look up George Knapp. The American journalist, George Knapp, Netflix. Gripping docu-series. Legendary reporter George Knapp travels the globe to uncover new evidence about UFOs and investigate their presence on Earth. Alright, I know that guy. I've seen him before. Alright. Alright, eventually I'll watch it. I did Clax the other day. Sometimes you take a big enough Clax and you're like, am I going to be able to wipe all this? Come on. I did it. I hit that third page. Next page, Nick's in. Next page. All right, so I did what I was set out to do. Finish up 3 pages. Damn proud of myself. Damn, I'm proud of myself. Did you discuss on Monday Keen's newsletter and the best power ballads, Love Bites by Def Leppard? No. No. There's a lot of no on all of that. Thank you, Sean. Thank you. All right, I'm going to wrap this up. I want to thank everybody for hanging out. Again, tomorrow's a huge day in the world. My birthday. 55 years old. I know I don't look like it. I know I look like I'm 25. I'm 55 tomorrow. And but I will be back on Friday. I'm sure going to look at a car isn't going to take us all friggin' day. It better not. Yep, I will see you Friday, Sean. I will see everybody on Friday. Reminder to resubscribe or subscribe, and also follow me on YouTube as well. I appreciate it, guys. I really do. And yeah, that's it. Ooh. Ugh. Bourbon on fish sticks. I made a fish stick with melted cheese on it on 2 cinnamon raisin bagels. 4 fish sticks. Melt the cheese I made the fish sticks in the air fryer. Delicious. All right, I'll see everybody later.